Alam nyo, pare-pareho naman tayong mga nagtatanong sa ahensya. Yung mga ahensyang yan, sang-ayon ako sa inyo, kailangan. Eh bakit hindi linagay sa NEP? Hindi naman trabaho ng senador, ng chairman ng finance, sagutin ang ahensya, bakit wala sa NEP? Eh yun na yung tanong namin, bakit nga wala sa NEP?
So, yun. Ang tindi, di ba? Nasa NEP dapat. Kumbagay, ang naagapan nyo dapat, sa NEP pa lang, ginawa nyo na ng paraan.
Isip-isip sila, matuto sila gumawa ng budget nila. Bakit tayo mag-iisip ngayon, ba't wala sa NEP?
Thank you for the lecture, Senator Loren.
I'm not lecturing. I
No,
was
we thank you really. That's
Ayun,
you're really
diba?
saying the right thing.
No, it's true.
Anyway,
Because I was there for
Ayusin nyo kasi dyan.
5
Grabe.
years. And sometimes, hanggang last minute, they submit in the BICAM. Why should they submit in the BICAM? Pag-isipan nila ang kanilang NEP, National Expenditure Program, the President's Budget. That's why ayaw namin ma-insertion sa BICAM. Kasi dapat kung mahalaga yan, nasa NEP na yan. And then they come to a senator during the plenary, isingit nyo to. Ayaw namin. Okay, we amend, but there's
Oh.
only limited fiscal space. And then now, a veteran congressman asks the first-term chair of the finance committee, why is it not there? I'm sorry, I have to answer for him. Of course, he can very much answer that. But if it's not in the NEP, what do we do? Right?
Oo. Kaya yan na nga po ang iniiwasan sa BICAM, ang magkaroon ng insertion. Kaya yan yung inaayawan ng mga Senado dahil nga yung insertion na yan or ang program na yan ay hindi talaga ma-address para sa railway na project. Insertion nga at program eh. Malamang at sa malamang, mapupunta na naman sa mga buhayang kongresista at may papasok sa bulsa, kanya-kanyang mga bulsa. Ganyan po yan. Ayun, mga kababayan, tingnan ninyo kung gaano kawalang hiya dyan sa Kongreso. Mantakin ninyo na dapat ay noon sila pa ang naghihiring dyan sa Kongreso, ay dapat pinundo na nila at hinalungkat na nila ang NEP ng DOTR. Dapat noong humarap na ang DOTR Secretary ay nasilip na nila yan. Eh bakit kung kailan magbabanggaan na ang GAB ng Senado at House ay sa kanila insert ang pondo ng project na yan? Palalabasin nila na unprogram yan. Di ba? Kung inyong matatandaan ang project ni dating Pangulong Duterte dyan na Transport Railway, yung malaking national railway nila na bago, na pinakauna at kauna-unahang ren dyan sa Mindanao. Mantakin ninyo. Na ito sana ang magandang transportation sa buong Mindanao na ipinatigil ng gobyernong ito simula ng maupo at 3 years na nakakaraan. Itong Mindanao na siniro budget ng bangag na administrasyon na ito, dito rin natin matutunghayan kung ano ang nagaganap dyan sa BICAM hearing. Hindi nakatiis si Congressman Lupus at bigla na lang inopen ang topic na ito. O, di ba? Yan. Ito ang dahilan kung bakit nanggagalaiti sa galit si Senador Loren Legarda. Bakit kamo? Dapat kasi sa NEP pa lang, di ba? NEP pa lang ay nagawa na nila ng budget na nagawa na nila ito ng budget nung nasa Senate hearing ng Deliberation Fund ay topic na at napag-usapan na ito. Di ba? Kasi lumalabas na ito ay magiging dahilan para gawaan ng unprogram insertion dyan ngayon sa bicameral live. Mga congressman na naman ang nagpupush para mabigyan ng pondo dito. Bakit kasi ang gobyernong ito ay kung bakit hindi isinama sa NEP na ubod ng pamumulitika at ubod ng buhaya. Kaya ito po welcome po muna sa aking channel at muling nagbabalik ang inyong lingkod, Pads Press TV. Kaya panoorin po natin ang buong video ito.
Mr. Chairman, Madam Chair, Mindanao is the second largest island in the Philippines with 26 million population. If you will look at the Department of Transportation, there is no railway system in Mindanao. We can recall that during the time of President Duterte, there was already a feasibility study, everything was ready for phase one of the Mindanao railway system, which is from Tagum, Davao City, and then Digos. May we know the status of that because it was a very long project study. We spent so much for that. And may we know why there has been no implementation of this, the first railway project in Mindanao. Because in Luzon, you can see here, there is a North Rail, there is a South Rail, there is an East Rail, there is a West Rail, no single inch of rail in Mindanao.
O kaya napapansin ninyo, tambak. Tambak ang mga project ng mga railway dyan sa Metro Manila. Pero ang nangyayari, bakit hindi pa rin nasusolusyonan yung traffic dyan sa loob ng Metro Manila? At ang dami na namang pasahero pa rin na na-stranded. Diba? Ganun pa rin. Walang pagbabago. Kaya magtataka ka bakit yung mga tao nagsisiksikan sa Metro Manila. Imbis na maging develop na ang Mindanao. Kumbaga dapat na ang Mindanao ay parang Cebu na rin, di ba? Dapat develop at maganda ang ekonomiya dapat ng Mindanao. Ang nagiging ugat kasi diyan yung mga transportation. Kaya yung mga kalakaran at mga export import ng mga product ay nanggagaling din naman sa mga transportation. Yung mga pangkalakal, pag nangangalakal, di ba, pangkalakal nilang pang-products, ay naihatid sa ibang bayan. Di ba? Madaling maihatid dahil nga sa transportation. Maganda sana tong railway na to, na project ni dating Pangulong Duterte. Na sana ayan ang mag-aangat ng ekonomiya para sa Mindanao. Kaso talagang, alam nyo na, galawang dilawan din ng gobyernong ito. Na naiisa lang ang estilo nung gobyerno pa ni Noynoy Aquino. Iisa lang din ang estilo ng gobyernong ito. Mga dilawan din ang nagpapatakbo. Grabe. Nadidiktahan na nila ang gobyernong ito. Kumbaga, nasakop na nila at na-brainwash na nila ang gobyernong ito. Ganun lang po yun. Kaya tuloy po natin ang video ito.
According to the agency, to DOTR, the funder of Mindanao Rail backed out, or I think maybe backed out is the wrong term, but there was a mutual agreement not to pursue the loan program. This is according to the DOTR. But in 2025, they allocated 200 million for the Mindanao Rail project to continue the activities of Mindanao Rail. But of course, 200 million, hindi yung magkakasya to, no? So they're relying on another funder to come in to completely fund the Mindanao Rail. No? But that's still in the pipeline of the DOTR. Unfortunately, nawala po yung original funder. No? I believe it was China. No? It was China who was supposed to fund Mindanao Rail. So they're looking for other funders for that. No?
Okay, juxtaposed with that is the Mindanao Railway System Part 2, Phase 2, which is really from Misamis Oriental to Cagayan de Oro to Laguindingan and then to Iligan. And may we know because
Amantakin ninyo gaano kalawak yung mga pagduduktong-duktong nilang bayan sa pamamagitan ng tren na yan na magkakaroon ng madaliang pakikipag-ugnayan ng bawat lugar na yan, di ba?
project study, 100 million, was already completed. And may we know the status of that?
Hindi
Because
sapat. Hindi sapat
then
yan.
we have possible two railways so that, railway is always the cheapest form of transportation of goods and people.
Oo. Kaya yung mga bilyon-bilyong na kinurakot ng mga politiko at mga congressman na yan, malaking bagay sana yan kung napunta sa sa railway ng mga project At yung mga hindi pa natatapos na mga project sa Metro Manila Yan sana ang magiging solusyon para mawala rin at maibsan ang mga traffic sa Metro Manila.
And may we know why there is nothing here yet about these two very important railway systems, which are good for 22% of our people who are in Mindanao, 22% of the 119 million Filipinos. Do we know about that? Why there's nothing here? Zero?
Mr. Congressman Rufus, it's not in the NEP. The agency did not request for that. So I think the most appropriate agency to talk to and inquire about that is the Department of Transportation. No?
Ito. Alam nyo, pare-pareho naman tayong mga nagtatanong sa ahensya. Yung mga ahensyang yan, sang-ayon ako sa inyo, kailangan. Bakit hindi linagay sa NEP? Hindi naman trabaho ng senador, ng chairman ng finance, sagutin ang ahensya, bakit wala sa NEP? Yun na yung tanong namin, bakit nga wala sa NEP?
So, yun. Ang tindi, di ba? Nasa NEP dapat. Kumbagay, ang naagapan nyo dapat, sa NEP pa lang, ginawa nyo na ng paraan. Kumbagay, questionin lang naman, ang trabaho lang naman ng Senado yan, hahalungkatin at hihiring yan sa loob ng Senado. Ngayon, ang trabaho nyo, dyan sa NEP na yan, kayong mga nasa executive na yan, hihiling kayo ng budget. Kaya nga, tinatanong ni Legarda, bakit hindi ninyo nagawaan ng paraan at mabigyan ng pondo yung NEP na yan? Kung hindi ba naman kabalastugan ang pinaggagawa nyo dyan sa executive, puro pamumulitika lang talaga ang pinaggagawa ninyo.
Isip-isip sila, matuto sila gumawa ng budget nila. Bakit tayo mag-iisip ngayon, ba't wala sa NEP?
Thank you for the lecture, Senator Loren.
I'm not lecturing. I
No,
was
we thank you really. That's
Ayun,
you're really
diba?
saying the right thing.
No, it's true.
Anyway,
Because I was there for
Ayusin nyo kasi dyan.
5
Grabe.
years. And sometimes, hanggang last minute, they submit in the BICAM. Why should they submit in the BICAM? Pag-isipan nila ang kanilang NEP, National Expenditure Program, the President's Budget. That's why ayaw namin ma-insertion sa BICAM. Kasi dapat kung mahalaga yan, nasa NEP na yan. And then they come to a senator during the plenary, isingit nyo to. Ayaw namin. Okay, we amend, but there's
Oh.
only limited fiscal space. And then now, a veteran congressman asks the first-term chair of the Finance Committee, why is it not there? I'm sorry, I have to answer for him. Of course, he can very much answer that. But if it's not in the NEP, what do we do? Right?
Oo. Kaya yan na nga po ang iniiwasan sa BICAM, ang magkaroon ng insertion. Kaya yan yung inaayawan ng mga Senado dahil nga yung insertion na yan or ang program na yan ay hindi talaga ma-address para sa railway na project. Insertion nga at program Malamang at sa malamang mapupunta na naman sa mga buhayang kongresista at may papasok sa bulsa kanya-kanyang mga bulsa. Ganyan po yan.
I also agree with Senator Legarda and the chair. So therefore, I think Secretary Banoy Lopez is listening to us now. The suggestion of our senator is probably in the
Parang
next
ano na-
cycle.
Parang nangyari na naman kay Vince Dizon di ba? Nagkakaroon na naman ng pahabol. Sige, kung ginawa ni Secretary DPWH ni Vince Dizon, kumagay bumawi Kumagay humabol sa hearing na yan. At ngayon, magiging program insertion. Ganyan din ang ginagawa nila. Walang pagkakaiba sa ginawa ng DPWH. Ganyan ang ginagawa ngayon ng DOTR. Humahabol din sa mga insertion na yan na wala namang patutunguhan. At alam naman natin kapag unprogram at insertion talagang dun nga lang talaga sa bulsa mapupunta.
For 2027, we should be able to have that.
Iniiwasan nga ang corruption.
After this, let's organize the oversight committee so that walang masama. We are consulted when they do their NEP. Masama ba yun? Hindi. Kasi lahat ng output natin, sabi natin, bakit ang DND puro infra? Ba't kulang sa ganito? So, example yung DND. Bakit ito? Wala yung Mindanao Rail. Agree kami dyan. Ano bang priorities nila? Di ba? Kaya hearing tayo ng hearing. Gawa tayo ng monthly oversight committee ng bicameral. Tanungin nyo yan kaagad. Sang-ayon ako dyan.
I agree again with Senator Legarda. So, in fact, in the budget hearing of the DOTR in the House, there was a commitment of Secretary Lopez that there will be a roadshow precisely to get funders for the two railway phase 1 and 2, so that we can already, once there is a roadshow and there is a funder, then that's the time we can include. So I would just like to seek the support of all the senators and all the congressmen that the oversight will be created, and we would wish that DOTR would really go into the roadshow for these two projects, so that for the first time, Mindanao will have the two railway systems. So again, my thanks to Senator Gatchalian and Chairman Gatchalian and Chairman Mika Swansing for taking this up, the possibility already of the DOTR, probably in the budget of 2027, already include amounts once we have
Yun.
funders already for these two
Naku, tagal
vital,
pa,
important projects for Mindanao, the railway system. Thank you.
Kung bakit naman kasi hindi nyo pa naisama sa NEP. Ngayon, lalabas ngayon, 2027 pa, may sasama na. O kumbaga ngayon, ang ginagawa ninyo, bumabawi kayo at ini-insert nyo na at hinahabol nyo na ang pondo sa 2026. Ngayon, sa 2027, mahalaga yan at igawin ninyong importansya at gawin ninyong priority. Dahil nga ang mga taga Mindanao ay syempre nagrereklamo na rin siguro at nakikita nga ng mga tao na nakatiwangwang yung railway niya. 'Di ba? Kaya sa 2027 ay wag na ninyong kalilimutan at wag na ninyong isawalang bahala. Isama nyo na sa NEP. 'Di ba?
So much, Chairman. and
Well, I will
Chair?
try to answer as much as I can, but there are a lot of information that the agency the agency can answer more appropriately. No? But I think as far as I know, it's a question of funder. No? Yun ang problema po.
Yes, Mr.
Mr.
Chair.
Chairman,
Yes.
Mr. Chairman.
We'll recognize Senator Aimee first.
Yes,
And then-
thank you very much. I think this has to do with railways as well. I noticed two FAPs that have been reduced quite severely. Both the Metro Manila Subway project at 45 billion under the NEP has been reduced under the Senate for 25 billion. In the same manner, the North-South Commuter Railway at 76 billion in the NEP has been reduced to 37. My question is, are the amounts indicated in the NEP the minimum payments for our counterpart?
Yes, Senator Aimee. In fact, we received a letter dated December 1, 2025. Let me just read it. Considering the remaining unobligated funds under the current FAPs and in line with our urgent priorities of the national government to further boost economic growth and social equity, we would like to respectfully inform the Senate of the possibility of reclassifying 34 billion out of the total loan proceeds allocation in our fiscal year 2026 proposed budget to the unprogrammed appropriations to support various priorities of national government. This adjustment will ensure more efficient use of available resources and present a timely opportunity to put existing resources to work where they are needed most. And we were also looking at the utilization rate of these two projects. The average, for example, in 2024, the utilization rate of the North-South Commuter Railway is only 23%. And the Metro Manila Subway is only 17%, Senator Aimee. So definitely the amounts allocated are not being utilized. So that's why they sent us a letter so that we can consider this.
Yes, the concern, of course, is that, firstly, the cost to the public has been measured many, many times by the World Bank, by JICA, and they run into billions every day, as well as, of course, the handling costs, because those are billions too. And finally, the reputational damage to the Philippines, because we don't pay our debts. So my problem is shunting the loan counterparts for foreign assisted projects towards the unprogrammed really is not the solution. I think perhaps the solution is more efficient absorption and implementation of the projects. If we are at 23 and 17%, surely the solution is to renegotiate the loan and start from scratch rather than constantly paying handling costs and being indebted for who knows how much, immeasurable in terms of reputation.
Actually, in the past
Tamang clear na clear, di ba? Kailangan ma-process na maganda para yung sa paglo-loan o kaya yung kung paano ma-measure kung anong budget ang kailangan at kung gaano kataas at kung gaano kahalaga ang kung ba yung value ng budget para maitama sa tamang project at magampanan at mapunta sa tamang project yung pera.
5 years, the North-South Commuter Railway, the average utilization is only 33%, and the Metro Manila Subway is only 36%. So the utilization remains very low for these two projects. However, the recommendation the recommendation of the agency was to transfer it to unprogrammed funds because the unprogrammed funds normally comes in second quarter of the year, and that can be used to fund the two projects that were mentioned.
Ganun pa man, hindi po solusyon yun. Kasi alam naman natin,
Yes.
kapag unprogrammed, ala-chamba yan. Hindi
Oo,
naman sigurado na may
ala-chamba.
savings. Ano? Kaya't itong mga project na ito, inaasam-asam ng ating mga kababayan. Na hirap na sa traffic, lalo na ngayon, tag-ulan, plus Christmas pa, talaga naman oras-oras na nawawalda sa traffic. Ito na lang talaga ang solusyon. Sana maisip natin kung paano gagawin to dahil kailangan na talaga ang public transport dito sa Metro Manila at sa North-South commuter railway areas. So, yung pag-aawas at paglilipat ng budget sa unprogrammed para sa akin ay hindi tunay na solusyon.
No, tama si Senador Rami Marcos. Yung mga solusyon diyan, yung mga trend na yan at railway na yan, dapat maayos na at magawa na nila. Etong PNR, anong ginawa ninyo? Binaklas ninyo yung release at i-elevate yung release na gagawing kala mo MRT, LRT, ganun ang mangyayari. Nasaan na? Nasaan na yung release? Nasaan na yung pondo? O, di ba? O, tatlong taon na. Hindi nyo pa nagawa yung PNR na yan. Ang tanong dyan hawak pa ba ng gobyerno yan? Baka pagbalik niyan at nagawa na yan, privatization na yan, nasa private na yan. O, ang tanong dyan, yung pamasahe ba? Tamang-tama ba? O mas mataas na rin sa itinaas ng mas mataas pa sa MRT o sa LRT? Yan ang magiging tanong dyan. Kumbaga yung ginawa ninyong pagbabaklas dyan sa PNR ay napakalaking sagabal para sa mga pasahero. Ngayon wala na silang mapili na alternatibo. Tanging yung PNR lang ang talagang pinagkukunan nilang para para makatipid sila sa pamasahe at madaling makarating sa paroroonan nila, di ba? Yang PNR na yan. Ngayon, ano nangyari? Wala na, di ba? Ilang years na. Baka nga maabot ng 10 years yan o 6 years yan eh. Baka maabot ng 10 years yan kapag ang gobyerno pa rin ay bulok. Halimbawa, bababa na sa gobyerno si Marcos Jr. Paano kung yung pumalit bulok din? Di, yung PNR na yan, baka umabot pa ng 10 years, 15 years bago magawa. Lang niya talaga. Kaya ito po, tuloy po natin ang video.
Ang program po na later on pagpunta ho natin sa program, makikita ho natin na kumonti po yung mga items ho doon at dahil po kumonti, yung allocation po sa mga foreign assisted mas lumaki, no? So yun po ang ginawa ho natin para po magamit po yung program sa mga foreign assisted projects po.
Hindi rin. Kaya nga yan ang ayaw na ng mga taong bayan Kaya ayaw na rin ni Senador Amy Marcos at ayaw na rin at iniiwasan na rin ng Senado yung unprogram at insertion na yan. Kaya nga wala na tayong tiwala dyan. Wala na tayong wala nang kredibilidad na yung unprogram na yan at insertion na yan. Kasama na rin sa nawala ng kredibilidad ay yung Kongreso. Yung institution ninyo, puro korap yan, puro mga buhaya. Kaya wala na pong tiwala ang Senado at ang taong bayan sa inyo dyan sa Kongreso.
Ipagpaumanin ninyo, pero sa ganitong panahon na sunod-sunod ang bagyo, lindol at iba pa, talagang hindi ako maasa na marami po tayong savings. Although, syempre, kinikilala naman natin na malaki na ang binawas sa program. Maraming salamat.
Mr. Chairman,
Minority Leader Marcelino Lebanon.
Madam Chairman, thank you. I would like to go back to the earlier suggestion of Senator Legarda on creating a joint bicameral conference committee oversight committee so that we can exercise oversight monthly on the proposed budget and even go back to the expenditure of government. Napaka-importante po ito dahil kahit yung Mindanao Rail, hindi na naitutuloy, malaki ng ginasto natin. Mayroon din tayong Leyte-Samar Rail which will connect Luzon and Mindanao. Wala rin sa budget ngayon. Hindi natin alam. Kaya kung ayaw kong bitawan yung kanyang thoughts, kaya if it is proper, I would like to present a motion for the creation of the bicameral conference committee oversight committee, that joint oversight committee that we can even, if possible, include in the special provisions of this GAA. So move, Madam Chair.
Second.
Senmin, if I may respond, perhaps this is I would have to check if this is the proper forum for us to act on that motion. So we may
It can be added.
we would still need to explore that if you would give me and Senator Win the time to explore the rules as of now as to which forum is the correct forum for that motion.
In fact, I would suggest to Chair Mika to immediately create the Joint Congressional Oversight Committee on Public Expenditures. This is a built-in oversight committee for the Committee on Finance and the Committee on Appropriations to conduct oversight on all the expenditures and, of course, those items that are not being spent as well. No? So we can constitute that early next year.
Yes, I would be very much supportive to convening that. We will act on that motion. If you could give Senwin and I the opportunity to figure out the mechanics, the procedures that we would have to follow to convene the said joint oversight committee, joint between the House and the Senate.
Gladly, Madam Chair.
Yes, that is really a great idea.
Ayan po, no? Hanggang dito na lamang po at napakinggan po natin kung gaano kahalaga na mawala ang unprogram at insertion dyan sa BICAM na yan. Kumbaga, nadala na tayo dahil nakarang 22, 23, 24 na talaga namang taon-taon ginagawa nila na mangurakot ng bilyon-bilyon sa pamamagitan ng unprogram at insertion. Yan po yung bagong mukha ng pork barrel. Yan po. Ngayon, hindi ko alam kung anong evolvement na naman ang ginagawa ng Kongreso. Kung paano naman mag-evolve ang corruption ngayon. Kumbaga, na ano na sila, na halata na sila at na-discover na at nahuli na. Ang tanong ano na naman kayang diskarte at strategy na gagawin para sa pork barrel at insertion program na gagawin ng mga buhayang kurakot. Kaya ito po, napakinggan po natin ang bawat balitaktakan ng Senado at Kongreso. Kaya hanggang dito na lamang po. At kung hindi ka pa nakakapag-subscribe, please subscribe my channel para lagi kang updated sa bawat upload ko. Maraming salamat po.